In episode 1, we met people like Toby, donors who give blood without ever seeing where it goes. We also heard from people like Tahir, who rely on these donations to survive. Now it's time to hear from another donor, Sonia, and her motivation to donate.
I'm Sonia. I work as a social prescribing link worker for the NHS. So that's in primary care. I work with 10 surgeries for people who have social problems. The first time I ever gave blood, I was a nursing student. Prior to being a nursing student, I was working full-time and I was giving to several charities. When I became a student, I couldn't afford to give to charities anymore, but I still wanted to do something meaningful. One day I'd left university. I was walking along with another student and we walked past Ealing Town Hall and they had a donation going on that day. And we said, why not? And we just kind of wandered in. I think it was probably quite scary because I'm the kind of person that likes to do a bit of research before I do something like that, and I hadn't done any, so I really didn't know what it entailed. But it was nice at the same time because they make you feel really, really comfortable. People with sickle cell need blood, and so I feel like I'm doing something for them effectively.
And Shauna is one of these people.
I am Shauna, and I am a public health professional, but I also have lived experience of sickle cell. There have been times where I feel that I've fallen short because of my health. I was in hospital quite a bit when I was younger.
For some people, blood donation is a choice. For others, it's something that they depend on to survive.
Like, I've seen the stats and basically black and brown people don't give as much as other races, and I just want to do my part.
There is a gap in support for people with sickle cell, but I won't discredit my haematologists and other great support services that I've had along the way.
From my survey, a few patterns started to show up when it came to blood donation. Firstly, people talked about barriers like fear, lack of time, and not knowing enough about the process. But what really stood out to me wasn't just the barriers themselves, it was what they were actually about. For a lot of people, it wasn't that they didn't care, it was uncertainty, unawareness, and fear of not knowing what was going to happen during the blood donation. And that made me realise for many people, the distance from blood donation isn't emotional, it's informational. There's not a lot of information out there about blood donation. And to understand this a bit more clearly, I spoke to someone who works in the NHS, to get a clearer sense of what's happening behind the scenes and break down more simply the process of blood donation and how blood is used.
Hi, I'm Shamira, and I work as an ODP, Operating Department Practitioner, and I specialise in anaesthetics. On a day-to-day, I support individuals post-op and pre-op. Blood is really critical during emergency procedures and unplanned procedures, and we need it. We rely on it so much.
Behind the scenes, when blood is needed during treatment.
So when we need blood urgently, we go through a coordinated process with different members of the team, and we do it quite fast, but it needs to be done carefully. It needs to be done really thorough and carefully because we need the right details to match with the patient so that they receive the correct blood type and all of that. So we do have a team and everyone needs to be coordinated. Yeah, so people have different beliefs and values. There's some people, due to religious purposes, they can't take blood. And in situations like that, we do have a cell saver, which is a machine where we can give the patient their own blood, if that makes sense. But in a situation where the patient is hesitant, obviously we can't force them. And we do respect their values and beliefs, so we can't give them blood if they've really stated that they don't want it. I think the public don't realise how hospitals rely on blood. Like, it's used in emergencies and even in elective procedures. There's situations where a procedure could go on and we're not speculating or assuming we're going to use any blood. I think it makes me appreciate and respect people that donate blood, because it does go a long way to the people that need it and use it on a day-to-day, because we don't really understand or realise that people that depend on blood need it very often. And let me say, in sickle cell patients, some of them need blood more frequent than we realize. So people that the blood donors potentially save their lives on a day-to-day.
Okay. And the final question is, finally, what do you want people to understand about the impact of donating blood?
That it is really important, you're saving lives, and you should just keep on doing it if you're able to.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
And or think to yourself, if it was you, if the shoe was on the other foot and you needed blood, you would want someone to give for you. So if you are able, try and give for someone else that needs it.
Going into this, I understood blood donation as something important, but didn't understand how blood donation really worked. But the more I spoke to people, what became clear is that blood donation is a cycle that works in different ways for different people. Some people, it fits into their life without disruption. All they have to do is donate some of their blood for the day. For others, it becomes something that they depend on just to keep going. And for the system, it relies on people donating their blood frequently. 1 pint of blood saves up to 3 lives, but that only becomes clear when you see everything behind it.